This is David Elbaz of Wanaka, and you are listening and watching to Leaf Power Radio Television.
Oh baby, sail away to another spoon, send you on your way, and soon be your doom. Take a look at us.
This is David from Wanaka. This is my new single, Another Spoon. A song written about substance abuse, specifically heroin, and how it affects relationships and pretty much everything else in your life. It's kind of a homage to so many great musicians that lost their lives to this terrible habit. So I'm here to answer 10 questions. So let's start with question number 1. How comfortable are you performing in front of a large crowd? Well, to be honest, I've performed in front of large crowds several times, and I'm okay with that, but I definitely prefer small venues, intimate places, small pubs, and this is more my kind of thing. Question number 2. What musical genres are you into? I am mainly into rock, more specifically into grunge, heavy metal, alternative rock, folk rock. These are the main types of music I've been listening to most of my life. Question number 3. What motivates you to start making music? That's an interesting question. Pretty much everything, to be honest. These days it could be a movie, it could be just something that happens to me in the middle of the day, could be music from another artist I'm listening to. So many things. When I was younger, I was mainly writing about relationships, love, but when you get a little bit older, you realize that there are a lot of things in life that are important too, and I try to write about pretty much everything. So question number 4. What is your number 1 goal for your music career this year? How do you preserve with your continuing talents? Well, this year I'll be releasing my first album. It's called Beneath the Surface. It will come out in December, and my main goal is to just get it out there, and I just hope people listen to it and like it. That's what will motivate me the most to continue and doing what I love, which is music. Question number 5. How do you stay current with the latest musical trends when you are constantly creating? Well, to be honest, I consume music mainly through Spotify, YouTube, and lately also Instagram. Those 3 keep me up to date pretty much. When I take my car, I listen to radio, so I get that as well, but yeah, mostly Spotify. Question number 6. Do you have other hobbies that are interesting to you? Yes, I do. My main hobby is actually hiking and traveling. Just came back from a 4 hours hike this morning, so I'm feeling pretty good. I try to hike mainly in the countryside where I live. I have a lot of trails around here. And I like to travel everywhere. I've been all around the world, and every time I get the chance to travel to somewhere new, discover some new country, new food, new music, and I'll do it without any hesitation. Question number 7. what are gigs like? Can you give us some stories about your first and latest gig? Well, my first gig was pretty terrible. It was in a very, very small room in the back of a very, very small pub. Probably 50 persons got into there and the sound was terrible. The energy was crazy good though, but the performance not so. So this is the story about my first gig. My latest gig was in front of a larger crowd outside, and yeah, it was nice in the nature, so it was pretty cool. Question number 8. Describe your experience and methods when it comes to music writing. Well, usually it starts with this. This is my main instrument, the ukulele. And usually I just, start playing something. And the rest will come. So question number 9, I think, yeah. Explain the writing style of your newest release. So the writing style, I think, is mainly rock, classic rock, but with some elements of pop. And I think it shows my influence really, because I grew up in the 80s as a kid and got a lot of pop influence from that. And then later on, thank God, the 90s came with, in my opinion, the greatest era of music. And I was a teenager and I got most of my influence from that time. And yeah, I think that's what you can find in my latest release. It's a lot of rock, a little bit of pop as well. And yeah, I think I'm happy with the results. Question number 10. A bug lands on your headphones. What do you do? Well, I used to be kind of a bugophobe, if that's how it's called. But I've been living in the countryside for the past 5-6 years. So I'm not fazed about bugs anymore. Just, wipe it off and let it continue with whatever it was doing. It did remind me though of a really traumatic story I've had when I was traveling in Thailand. I was in a small place in the north called Pai, probably 5 hours ride from any hospital or anything like that. And I was sleeping on the floor in a small hut, and a small cockroach entered my ear canal. I didn't know it was a cockroach at the time, but obviously I knew something got into my ear canal, and that was just terrible. It took about 4 hours until someone that stayed there got it out for me by pouring hot water in my ear canal. Yeah. So that's the story it reminded me. But now I'm fine. As long as it doesn't enter my canal, I'm okay with bugs. So this was David Elbaz from Wanaka. And thank you for listening. I hope you enjoy that. And I hope you can listen to my music. Thank you.
To the moon and back, to the moon and back. Tell me, baby.
Hello, and thanks for listening to Leaf Pile Radio.
The Quiet Great Radio Show with your host, JJ King.